Σας έχουμε υποσχεθεί στο Σπορτάλ ότι θα φέρνουμε ξεχωριστούς καλεσμένους και θα σας παρουσιάζουμε ξεχωριστά πράγματα. Τι πιο ξεχωριστό λοιπόν από μια σύνδεση με το Τέξας των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών, εκεί όπου θα μιλήσουμε με έναν Έλληνα, τον Θωμά Βουοκαπόπουλο, ή όπως αν προτιμάτε τον Thomas Woka. Thomas, thank you very much for being here with us. It's an honor, it's a privilege. And let's start with something easy, because you know that there are not going to be just easy questions. Levon, what's your situation right now? Because, you know, when I talk to some colleagues of mine that we will have an interview with Thomas Woka, they all said, but he's in Mykonos. How can you do the interview? He's in Mykonos. So tell me, where are you right now? What's your situation? And of course, how was Mykonos?
First off, thanks for having me. It's always good to see some Greek faces on my phone. My situation right now is I'm in Texas. Surrounded by friends and family. I'm really lucky everybody lives pretty close by me here, so all my days are filled with just right now a little bit of rest, then friends and family time. You know, basically trying to catch up on the stuff that I've missed throughout the whole year. And Mykonos is great. What can I say? We went for just one day after the season. Basically just to knock it off the list. You know, we had a good time. We got to celebrate, you know, but now when everybody from the States asks, oh, have you been to Mykonos? Have you been to Mykonos? I can say, yes, I've been to Mykonos, and say it honestly. So, yeah, it was a blast, and I would be lying if I wasn't dreaming of the Greek islands all the days.
After the fiesta, after the ceremony, you told me that before the national team, you will be able to speak Greek. How's your situation?
I forgot I said that.
It's on camera.
I forgot I said that. No, you know what? This week it'll be time. You know, I flirted in and out with a tutor. Had one that didn't have one. Had one, didn't have one. But especially now, you know, I can do it early in the mornings with no practice going on right now. I can do it in the mornings and kind of knock it out. But it's, you know, I need to do it, and I want to do it. You know, I want to be able to fit into the culture. I want to be able to be as Greek as possible. You know, Greece has been too good to me to not return the favor. So, yeah, I want and need to do it for that reason.
Now that the season is over, you are not in Greece. You are back home, seeing your family, seeing your friends. What's your thoughts? You know, looking back at the season, with the Final Four loss in the final, with the double here in Greece, or treble if we add the Super Cup also. What's your thoughts? What's your mindset?
Looking back, I'm really able to say it was a super successful season. You know, I can say that. But also a little bit of it's bittersweet. You know, I think as an athlete, as a competitor, you're going to focus on those losses. You know, and it's difficult to not do that. And there are things to celebrate about this season, but definitely bittersweet to finish winning the league in Greece and say, man, we were 3 seconds away from a triple crown. You know, so. I would say a little bittersweet. But then when you take one more step back and you see all that we accomplished this year, the type of basketball we were playing, it's hard to put this into words, but it's very special to get that camaraderie, to get that chemistry on the basketball court. And so for that, I'm very thankful, and I was honored to be a part of that, to be honest. So we achieved a lot of great things this year as an entire unit, and it was a very, very successful year.
You know that Kostas Loukas and Kostas Papanikolaou contracts are over. What's your thoughts, and have you talked to them, tell them, guys, you must stay, or whatever? I told you it's going to be like difficult questions.
No. It's an easy question. This is easy. Is this difficult? This is easy. You know, I find myself in the middle of being a teammate and an Olympiacos player, and also being a friend. You know, it would be easy to say, oh, you guys should stay. Why would you want to leave? We have such a good situation and such a good team, and we are a part of something special. But also, this is not my place to say. You know, I want everybody to stay. You know, if it was up to me, we would bring back this entire 13-man roster. We'd run it back. You know, like I said, we were 3 seconds away from a triple crown. So but that's not how it works. You know, when you're a part of a good team, when you're a part of something special like that, you move up. You know, everybody moves up. So I think it goes without saying that I want everybody to return. But at the same time, as a friend, you can't try and hold on to everybody. You know, you have to let guys do what is best for themselves. And if that's staying, then good. You know, that's also a win for my selfish desires, the team's selfish desires. But if they leave, you know, it would be a very difficult pill to swallow for each one of those guys, you know, but at the same time, you know, this is basketball, this is professional sports, and guys have to do what's best for themselves.
We don't know what's going to happen with Sasha Vezenkov, but we know what's going to happen with his best friend, Nikola Milutínov, who's the first transfer of Olympiacos this summer. Are you excited playing the pick and roll with him and throwing the ball so that he can dunk?
Yeah, I can close my eyes, look this way, and throw it behind my head, and he will dunk it. You know, a few of my friends were asking about him, and I was, you know, raving about him because I think he's, you know, both him and Moose are dream bigs to play with. You know, they're both big, they both can switch, they both can play drop, they both are great pick and cut players. You know, they have great touch. So, yeah, I'm very excited to play alongside him after playing against him for the last few years. You know, so I think this is an amazing addition and one we needed. When I first heard the rumors, I was really hoping this one went through, and yeah, they got it done. So I think that was a great signing.
I have another question, perhaps the last about Olympiacos until the end. So the stadium, the Peace and Friendship Stadium, SEF, is going to change. They're going to have more seats, more fans. They're going to paint it red and white. What's your thoughts about that?
Wow, this is news. This is news. Breaking news. I'm excited about that. That's great. I didn't know that was happening, but yeah, you know, I think it's great that they're putting support, you know, making upgrades, you know, whatever you want to call it, into the stadium that, you know, matches with the team. You know, the Angelopoulos brothers, they care so much about the team. You know, they love the team fully, you know, and it's honest and it's true love. So making those steps and to the arena makes the club better, you know, and puts the value of the club up. Whenever people come into the stadium, you can see that it means more, you know, and I'm glad that SEF won't change too much because it's special in the exact way that it is. But also some upgrades, you know, are great, and I think it shows great ownership.
Want to talk about Panathinaikos for a while?
It's your show, man. I'm just a guest here.
So what's your thoughts about them signing Coach Ataman and saying that we want Kevin Panther, we want Matthias Lesor, we want Luca Vildoza, who they announced, and all that?
It's been the same, you know, since I arrived. I was never, you know, it's always I respect Panathinaikos, but I was never worried about who was on their side. You know, I'm worried about who was on our side. I'm worried about and focusing on what we do as a team, how we play, and then you let everything else, you know, the chips fall where they may. You know, I'm not focused on them or focused on who they sign. If they put more money in, they put more money in. It is what it is. There will always be respect there, like I said, and I will always respect my opponents. But the truth in a basketball team lies within itself. You know, not dependent on the opponent or what they do or how they play or who they have. It's about the Olympiacos name on our chest. And yeah, that's where it lies. So for me, it's not about who they sign or who they have or who's on their coaching sideline. It's about who's on ours.
You know, having an even better Panathinaikos to win and take the double from them is not an extra motivation. It's just winning the title for Olympiacos.
Yeah, you know, you can't control who's on the other sideline. You play who is in front of you, you know. So, okay, this year was a very difficult situation for Panathinaikos. You know, guys leaving, guys staying. They have two foreigners that can really play, you know, both sitting out. But you play who you play. You know, this is all that you can't change it. You can't, you know, that's the position that they put themselves in. So it is what it is, you know. It's not something that we worry about. We show up, play whoever's on the other sideline in the green and white shirts. You know, we don't care. Again, it's not a matter of disrespect. You know, we respect them, we respect our opponents, and we respect the game of basketball. But all that matters to us is who's in the red and white jerseys. So the stuff that we've achieved the past 2 years, there's nothing to be taken away from it. It was important, it was special, and we keep building on it.
There is this, I don't know how to say it, a myth, an interesting conversation, let's say, here in Greece about you getting this passport. Can you take us through the whole process? How was this idea imprinted on your mind, and how did you get this executed?
I think early into my second year, it was the first time that, it was actually some of the fans that started saying it first, you know, Thomas, take the Greek passport, take the Greek passport. And I would tell them, hey, this is not up to me. You know, if I could do it, I would do it today. That was kind of it. You know, at that time, though, I knew that I would want to stay here for a long time. By the even halfway through my first year, you know, everything was right with basketball, with how the club was ran, and then also things outside of basketball. I love living in Greece. I love the friends and people that I've gotten to know there. So early on, I knew that I wanted to stay. And then behind the scenes, it was just one step after another that I was I was not involved in completely. You know, my agent called and said, you know, later this week, you know, you could be receiving the passport, and that was the first news I had heard of it in months. You know, so to be honest, I wasn't so involved with it, but I was very, very happy. Very happy to receive it because I have a connection to the country now. You know, I've been there 2 years. I am diving into the culture. I do love the way of life. I do love, you know, Greeks in general. I've made great friends, like I've said. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I was completely excited about it.
So, national team. I asked you, where was it? I think after the game 4, the game that never ended, I asked you if you are excited about throwing the ball to Giannis Antetokounmpo so that you can dunk. So tell me, first of all, how excited are you to come back in Greece, not for the Olympiacos trainings, but for the Greek national team trainings?
Really excited, you know. I've been thinking about, this is cutting the summer short, but for such a good reason. You know, this is something that I'm happy to give up all of my summer to do, you know, to be a part of the national team, to be a part of something special, you know. As a basketball player, our careers are 10, you know, if you're extremely, extremely lucky, 15 years long. So to get to be involved in the national team during that very, very short period of time in your life, especially something that, you know, I feel a connection to, is something that's very special to me, you know? So, yeah, it's an honor to have received the passport, and I really look forward to what's next, and to get to compete in a tournament and to compete in competitions that I would never have gotten the chance to compete in.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is doubtful because of his knee. Kostas Loukas said that he doesn't want to participate in the Greek national team this year. What's your thoughts, not just for the honor of wearing the blue and white jersey, but what's your thoughts about the game that you are going to play, even though you will have perhaps some absences?
Yeah, I think part of, you know, national team is and international competition is like a completely different game. You know, it's like you just get thrown together and you have to figure it out on the fly, and you can't focus on the guys that aren't there. You know, if they're not there, they're not there. You know, it's either that's their choice or that's by circumstances they can't, you know. But you can't focus on who isn't there. All you can focus on is the 12 guys that are in that locker room and coming together as one, you know. And if you do that, you come together as one, and you stick together, and you realize that you are fighting for the pride of a country, really, you know. If you do that, then everything will take care of itself, you know. It doesn't mean that you're going to win the gold medal. It doesn't mean that you're going to, you know, not make it out of group stages, whatever. But if you stick together as one and play with pride, for the 12 guys that are there in that locker room, that's all that you can handle. And there's really no excuses when it comes to it. You can't say this guy wasn't there, that guy wasn't there. Like, no, man, it's basketball. You go out there, you play as hard as you can, you play the game the right way, and everything else will take care of itself.
Have you talked to Coach Itúdis about the Greek national team, or you didn't have the time because of you know, all the games and all that stuff? Especially now that you are in the States and you don't have you know, practices and blah blah blah.
Sure. Yeah. No, I haven't, but I think that the time that I would have wanted to was such a weird time with right as I'm getting the passport, we're jumping into playoffs with Finner. It was just a weird situation. So obviously we've seen each other since, but, you know, nothing more. But yeah, you know, a guy that I respect huge amounts, you know. The guy knows how to coach basketball. He knows how to coach basketball, and he has a long record of proving it. He's a genius when it comes to X's and O's, and I'm really excited to play in his system. You know, long before this was ever an option to play for national team, I was a fan of the way that his, you know, teams played, the toughness that they played, the discipline with what they played. So I think it's a good fit.
The toughest one of all. Let's say that you are Coach Itúdis, and unfortunately, Thomas Walkup and Tyler Dorsey can't play at the same time on the national team. So, Coach Itúdis, tell us, who would you pick from the two of them?
Oh man, what a question! What a question! As a competitor. And as an athlete, there is a certain amount of selfishness that goes into your to your thinking, to your thought process. So for me, I'm sorry, I can't be completely unbiased here and make this decision. But for me, I would say myself, you know, because I believe in my abilities. I know what I bring to the table, and that doesn't take anything away from Tyler. I mean. Unbelievable player, unbelievable teammate. You know, the guy was fight. He competes his tail off every night, and yeah, I think that it's really a win-win situation. You know, both of us bring a lot of things to the table, and it's kind of nice. I think it would be a little more difficult for Coach Itúdis if it was, you know, two scorers or two playmakers. You know, but our games are completely different, and it's up to him to decide what he needs, you know? So for me, you have my answer because I believe in myself. And selfishly, I want to compete and I want to be there and I want to represent Greece. So yeah, not the easiest question, but there's my answer.
You know, everybody loves having old stories from teams, not just old stories from the locker room, from the trips, from the buses, from the airplanes, from everything. So I want 3 stories. I don't care if it's from this Olympiacos year or the previous one. And of course, I want stories that can be told, not something that that we can't publish.
I'll say it's less stories, but it's more so. I don't know, just things that happen, I guess. But Shaq goes into the cold tub fully clothed. He wears a sweatsuit, you know, like a sweater all the way down to his wrists, and cotton pants all the way down to his ankles, and socks and sandals. And I would never say this about Shaq, that he looks ridiculous. I would never say that. But Shaq did come at me sideways with the jeans comment. I think that you remember that. So I had to come right back at Shaq and just say that that's the most ridiculous outfit I've ever seen.
The other story or the other thing that happened to the team?
The other thing. This is tough, man. This is tough. I would say it's our superstitions. It's our superstitions that are non-stop. You know, like everybody sits on the same place on the bus, or Pop and I have to get to the airport at the same time so that we can go through security at the same time and we can grab our food together and then our coffee together. And if one of us gets there early, it's like, hurry up, man. You know, we're just like, I think it's the process of things and the superstitions of things that builds up over a year. But I don't know if I have any like hilarious stories for you, man.
The last story of the team, the last thing that happened there. For example, I don't know if you want to say something about the flight after Kaunas, or I don't know.
No, I will say this one's kind of, I will leave this one up to the imagination of the fans as well. But, you know, we exit before a game, we exit the locker room all in the same order every time. So Lutens, myself, and Sasa are in the locker room together. We will do a little dance, the 3 of us all together, and then we exit. For this, I won't expand anymore, but I'll let you guys, you know, imagine what our cool dance is that we do together. And yeah, that's maybe that one. That's what I got for you.
One sad question and one question about the future. How many days did you need it in order to put Kaunas behind you? And because I'm asking you because during the finals you were great, you were shooting great, you were playing defense, offense, you were passing, you did everything. And it was like you put all this behind you. So what's your, when did you stop thinking about it?
I don't know if I did stop thinking about it, to be honest, but the beautiful thing about basketball for me is that when you step in between those lines, it's like everything else goes away. You know, I know that football is the beautiful game, but for me, basketball is that, you know, it's like all the worries, all the emotions, everything just kind of disappears. So yeah, then after the games, I would see something about Real Madrid online, and I would go right back to it. But I don't know if I got over it. I don't know if I have gotten over it still now, but I've been able to block it out, and move on. I was able to realize that we have something bigger to compete for now, and that was the Greek league. So. Yeah, I think that's why winning it was bittersweet, because that was EuroLeague was still somewhere in the back of our heads. But time heals all. And it wasn't easy to get past that and get through that. But yeah, we did it, and now we keep building. Now we keep working so that we can find ourselves back in that game and finish the job this year.
What happened during the last defense? What was the plan? And what was the plan in the last offense when Slukas took the shot?
The plan is exactly what happened. We were in switch all defense, and Moose played great defense. There's nothing more to it. You'll just hit one hell of a shot. He shot the ball up to the moon and it dropped down into the net. Nothing more, nothing less. I thought when he shot it, there's no way it goes in, because it was great defense. And then on the last offense, we had ran a play. Slu got a great look, actually, then just missed the shot. Nothing else. There is no blame to go around there or anything. It is what it is. That's basketball. Sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes the ball doesn't. So in that case, I'm not going to say unlucky, because you always get what you deserve, but the ball went in for them, and it didn't go in for us.
The last thing is this one. What's your message to the fans, to the Greek fans, to the Olympiacos fans, about the continuation of Olympiacos, about the next year? And it's going to be a year that, of course, after 2 straight Final Fours, they will. Everybody will. I don't want to say demand, but they will want to have the trophy that time, because it was the semi-finals against Efes, the final against Real. The next step is winning the title.
Yeah, definitely. And I've said this since I came here, but my favorite thing about Olympiacos is the high expectations. The expectations to win trophies. The expectations, even after a few years of not winning trophies before I got here, it was like, that is the demand. The expectations are very high, and that's the type of club that I want to be a part of. And yeah, I'm happy that the fans have these expectations for us, because it aligns with ours. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else where the fans were thinking, oh, it was nice to be at Final Four. If we get to go back next year, it'd be cool. No, that's not how we do things here. We're about winning trophies, and I love that the fans want that, the club wants that. And yeah, it's a privilege to be a part of a club that can be in the mix to win it every single year. So to the fans, we keep building, we keep working, we keep grinding. We're not satisfied. They're not satisfied. But thank you for all the support through ups, through downs, both last year and 2 years ago. There was a lot of ups and downs, losing streaks, winning streaks. And over 10 months, the support of the fans, it means the world. To have them pushing you forward nonstop is a blessing.
So, Thomas, that was it for now, because we will have another interview for sure when you come for the national team, and before you start your preparation about the national team games. It was a privilege having you here. Thank you. You know how much I respect you, but thank you so much about this. This is great for us and for our viewers, of course. And hope to see you soon back in Greece, brother.
Yeah, it was a blast as always, man. Thank you. And next time, try and ask some hard questions, huh?
That wasn't hard question. Okay, next time harder questions, that for sure.
Bring him on.
Λοιπόν, εσείς μείνετε στο κανάλι του Sport, γιατί όλο και κάτι ωραίο θα σας έχουν ετοιμάσει, αγαπητοί μας συνάδελφοι, να δείτε στα υπόλοιπα βίντεο. Φυσικά sportal.gr για να ενημερωθείτε για τα πάντα. Και ελπίζουμε να χαρήκατε αυτή τη μεγάλη συνέντευξη του Thomas Walkup. Καλή σας συνέχεια.